Hi guys, I've got my work cut out for me here. This has not been tackled or cared for properly for some time. It's just been mowed, and you can see the result of that. You've got, patches of decent grass, but then in between it you've got a lot of moss. You've got see down there, moss within the grass. You've got dead thatch here, so it really needs to have a proper overhaul. And we're going to go through it in various stages. Start off by mowing it, then we're going to run the electric rake over it to churn up all the moss, which I've started up here. Then we're going to mow, collect up all that moss, collect up all that moss, do a bit more raking, then we'll scarify, then we'll apply some seed. This is autumn at the moment, so it's a really good time to plant the seed now. Let that take hold till next year, then maybe apply some weed killer to get rid of weed and moss killer and feed. That'll get rid of any more moss and weeds in the lawn, and we'll feed the lawn, and then we can, at some point, we can think about tying aerating it. So putting some big old plug holes in the ground, let all the moisture in there get into the lawn. But this is the first step, so we'll try and tackle it. Actually see where I've already raked and then hoovered up all the moss and debris with the mower. So now instead of it looking like patchy dead grass, now it looks like patchy soil. We'll scarify that, and then we can plant our seed, and that will be just water that, and that'll be it for the winter season. Let that take hold, sort it out in the spring. This thing is insane. I'll tell you why it's insane, because it was 70 quid. It's like the cheapest Scarify electric rake on the market, and it's also got some of the best reviews. It's 1500 watts. They tend to range from 900 up to 1800, so it's like right up there. Comes with your scarifying blades and your electric rake blades there. The only, there isn't really a downside. The bag is only 28 litres, but even the bigger ones are only 45, and as you can see, it just churns out so much stuff that you'll fill up the bigger bag in no time at all. So the quickest way to do it, in fact, is just to let it blast everywhere and then go over it with the mower, hoover it all up with the mower. So yeah, totally rate this bit of kit. 2-year warranty from Screwfix. It's got a really memorable name, the FPR S1500. I think that's actually, well, the brand is like WR something or other. It's not actually like a name or anything. I'll have to post a link in the description, but yeah, totally rate this bit of kit. It sort of looks cheapy, plasticky, but it's actually as sturdy as any other one I've come across. So yeah, awesome. So this is my pièce de la résistance. These are some spiked shoes. These are Gruntech ones. Had a look at a few different ones on the market. I think this one and another couple were probably the top rated. The other one claimed to have Velcro straps, which is easier to get in and out of, but you're either using these shoes or you're not, so I'm not sure it's such a big deal. And these look like quality buckles. I mean, this is the most expensive shoe, I think, and you can tell the quality is really good, you know, German made as usual. So yeah, I think the main key thing people say is to have as many straps as possible, and I'd concur with that. This one's got 4 and an ankle strap there, and that's just so your foot doesn't rock around too much, because your feet can sort of like rock very easily from side to side, probably do yourself an injury. Anyway, I'm trying to sort of test it out and see if I could sort of do a 2-for-1 here, because I'm going along, I've done my Scarify, now I'm just hoovering out all the grass, and I'm walking with these, so there's 2 benefits to that. One is that I'm spiking the lawn, obviously, but the other one is that if I don't quite go down with my feet, if I don't quite get in, because this is clay, it's quite hard, but we have just had rain, then at least it keeps me up off the ground. And obviously this the Scarify has cut all these grooves, and if you're not wearing spike shoes, you're just going along and trampling on it and just, you know, squashing them down. So if you don't spike it, you're actually walking over those grooves, so it's actually really good. I mean, I would say if you've got dodgy ankles, don't do this, because it does put quite a lot of strain on your ankles. But yeah, so that's my tip for that. Definitely get yourself some of these. Yeah, slight caveat, I'm using a cabled mower. If you've got petrol one or battery operated, no problem, but obviously if I step on this, there's a good chance I'm going to electrocute myself and die. So yeah, guess you got to watch out for that, but you know, I like to live life on the edge. Right, there she is. That's just been scarified now. Yeah, I had to rake up a load more with the, well, hoover up a load more with the lawnmower. So next step, after we've scarified and cleaned all that up, is to spread the grass seed. So I quite like this one. Some people prefer the push one. This little handy, cheap, works well. I just generally have it on the highest setting. We're going to spread that all around and then move on to the next step, which is putting compost on top. Okay guys, what you need here is to work out how much compost you're going to need before you come to site. Should be, for overseeding, about a kilo per square metre. So just roughly work out how many square metres you've got in the garden and look online. I'm sure every bag of compost varies, and it will vary per bag depending on how wet it is, but 50 litres, about 12.5 kilos, which is what I've gone off of. So that's what I worked out. So just dump it in piles roughly. So I've dumped it in sort of what I think is approximately 12.5 square metres, and then you're just going to get a garden rake, a grass rake. Start off by spreading it around with the garden rake. Doesn't need much. You want most of the grass to be sticking above the surface, so really thin. This is a soil conditioner, really. It's more than anything. It will protect the seeds from the birds, but yeah. So once you've done that, then you can get your stiff broom and just brush it around, spread it around, so that it's worked into the turf. And then under normal circumstances you would hose it down, but since we're in a hosepipe ban at the moment, I'm just waiting for the rain, so that's why I want to get this job done. So yeah, so there we have it, guys. So yeah, word of warning, it's gonna look fugly for a while until it looks beautiful again. It's a bit like the ugly duckling. It's gonna look, in fact, but fugly. Can we smush that together? But fugly? No, it doesn't work, does it? No, it's going to look fugly until the spring now, because we're doing this in autumn. But it is what it is. You've got to go through this process, so just temper expectations. And as I say, yeah, spread the compost to a sort of thin enough level that you've still got the grass poking through. If you cover up the grass with the compost completely, you'll kill the grass. So that's obviously not what we want to do. So as I said, about 1 kilogram per square metre, and that's it. Water it now, or let the rain get to it, and then just leave it. Yeah, you could roller it at this stage or walk on it, and then at some point I'll do some hot core hollow aeration, but that is for another day. Best thing to do is do this in stages. So I did the back part of the garden, now do the front part, otherwise you end up just walking all over all the nicely scarified turf you've just made. That's it, guys. Good luck. Let's have a revisit of this next year and see how it looks once we've done all this work. Okay, so I thought I'd give these magic eye, or whatever you want to call them, bird scarers a go. So I've just got myself a garden stake, put a little notch in the end of it here, so I can tie my string around it, and yeah, I've got some of these. They've got, you can see the flashing tassels underneath. So this is to scare the birds away from the grass seed I put down, and we're going to see how well it works.